Welcome back, everyone, to the program. My name is Jeff, otherwise known as LitecoinLeader in some circles, which may be the channel you're watching me on. I'm on a couple channels now, just trying to get this word out there. But I want to talk about this stuff for a couple minutes. Keep it nice and short and to the point. Please, if you see this video and you're on a platform, please like, share, subscribe. Get the notification bell, share it out. It really helps out the channel, helps get the word out. But I want to talk about keeping things simple. Like, keep it simple, stupid, okay? The KISS method exists for a reason. Now, I've been in Bitcoin for a while, okay? I started back in 2016, which, it's a long time in this space. And it's more than half of the entire life of Bitcoin, which is crazy to think about. And there's lots of different aspects of crypto and Bitcoin that we could talk about and all this different education, but there's a lot of people who they've never owned Bitcoin in their lives. They don't know the first thing about it. And one of the challenges of relating the topic is just boiling it down to its simple, basic elements. Bitcoin, you could learn a ton about it. You could get under the hood. You can learn about a lot of different things in the world. You can learn a lot about cooking, mechanical. You can learn about cars, but you don't need to know how an internal combustion engine works to get into a car and drive it, okay? There are certain elements that, you want to know what's going on under the hood, but you may not need to know that. It's the more that you know, the better off that you are. Like, it helps to know how to check your oil, how to put gas in the car, and how to check your battery, or how to respond to certain things in the car, what a noise might mean, put air in the tires. Those kinds of things help you with operating and owning a vehicle. But you don't need all that. Like, if you go to another town and you rent a car, you just get in the car, drive it, put some gas in it, and then drop it off in a couple of days. That's all you really need to know. But with Bitcoin and with other things, the more you know, the more informed you are, the more you may learn about how important it is to know more about that subject. But the point about Bitcoin, you don't have to know a lot about Bitcoin to see that it has a lot of value and how to get into it and how to do it properly and safely and securely. And that's what myself and Dylan and over at EconomicPreppers is what we help people to learn. The important thing about Bitcoin is not that you need to know about how the blockchain works or how blocks work or what the halving means. All you need to know is that it's an asset that's hard to acquire, that there's only going to be so much of it, and people view it with a lot of value, and that value is probably going to go up over time. Not financial advice, but that's just something that we can say with reasonable expectation, considering that every 4-year period for the last 10 plus years, Bitcoin has gone up in terms of dollars. All right, that's a proven fact. Why is that? Well, first off, it's something that's rare. Every 4 years, they cut the supply in half. So that's happening in April of 2024. They're going to, right now, 900 Bitcoin are created per day. And that's based on the computer code. You don't need to know the details of that, but the supply is 900 Bitcoin a day right now. In a month from now, it's going to be 450 a day, and that's going to be the recipe for 4 more years. Then it'll be cut in half again. So think about it in terms of gold. Just say gold, we know, has been money for a long, long time, and it takes a certain amount of effort to find it, dig it out of the ground, clean it up, get it into its purest form, put into a gold bar or jewelry, and it represent value because it's a rare element. It's a rare material. But it has the properties it's durable. It's easy to measure that it's correct, and you can test it that it's it's truly gold. It's accepted everywhere. It's got great all these. It's tangible. People can here's a gold coin and that's accepted everywhere. It's been money for thousands of years. It lasts. Bitcoin is the new kid on the block. It's only been around since 2008, 2009, depending on how you measure it. Doesn't matter. But it's only been around for 15, 16 years, as opposed to 5,000 for gold. And yes, it's different, but it's digital, and we live in a digital world. It's the digital equivalent. It's digital gold. It's durable, it's preserved, it's rare, and we know the recipe of how much is going to be created year over year over year. And every 4 years, that recipe changes. It gets cut in half. That's not true of gold. That's not true of any other asset class. You can find more oil. You can find more gold. You can find more rare elements around the planet. Maybe an asteroid lands and we get more onto the planet. Maybe even with alchemy, you could create more in a laboratory. They've certainly tried to do that. Alchemy has existed for thousands of years, trying to turn lead into gold. The point is that you cannot drill or dig for more Bitcoin. That's not how Bitcoin mining works, okay? Bitcoin is generated in a certain recipe, and that's just the answer it's always going to be. And that's like the only one that gets to change the recipe are the ones that mine it themselves. And their economics of their business is built upon that recipe, so they're not going to change it. So 900 a day right now, 450 a day starting in April next month for the next 4 years. Then it'll be half that in 4 years after that. And it's harder and harder to acquire. And there's more and more demand for it each day. With the big money from Wall Street now able to buy it through their funds that started in January, they're actually buying 11 times more than the supply. Just those funds. I'm not talking about anybody else. Just those funds are buying Bitcoin at a faster rate than what you have right now. Okay, then you generate it. But the point is this: you don't need to know all that. All you need to know is that Bitcoin is rare, and how to store it, how to acquire it, and how to store it safely. Those are the two, and those three things: how to get it, that you should get it, and how to store it safely. You can worry about spending it later. That's going to come later. But the important thing is that the entire principle of why you should get Bitcoin. This is not financial advice at all. This is just like, how do I get something that's going to be rare? How it's going to be the Mona Lisa of the future, right? How it's going to be that there's only 21 million Bitcoin. How do I get some of it? And you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin, by the way. A lot of people believe that. Like, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy a couple $100 worth of Bitcoin at any given time. And there are ways to do that. And that's what I teach you how to do it. And you can do it at Economic Preppers. And we're about education. It's not financial advice. It's just that here's an asset that's going to be rare. It already has value. And we tell you it's going to be more rare in the future because of many different reasons, right? But it's one of which is that the supply is going to go down every 4 years. You don't need to know much more than that. Like, you have an asset that we know it has value to it, and there's going to be less of it in the future. So if something's going to be harder to acquire, and there's going to be less of it in the future, wouldn't you want some of that? Just a thought there. You can learn all the different details about Bitcoin and blockchain and how it's mined and all other stuff, but the bottom line is this: it's rare. It's going to be more rare in the future. It's hard to acquire. It's going to be harder to acquire in the future. Wouldn't you love to have some now? At least some of it. It's just a thought there, because not many people are going to have it in the future. So if you want to know how to get that and how to do that smartly, safely, securely, reach out to me, share this video, help somebody out, help somebody to understand why you would want something. Like, how do you want that digital Mona Lisa of the future? I'll help you do it. Dylan and I help you over at Economic Preppers as well. Like, if you get the details down in the comments, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Read the details, and we're here to help you and just help you understand why you should probably get some exposure to this sooner rather than later. So, a lot said today. I would love to hear your thoughts. So, with all that said, I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.